A very good morning to one and all. Today marks the beginning of the sixth edition of Sri Shri Model United Nations. We would like to begin today's proceedings with an invocation to the Almighty. A warm and heartfelt welcome to all our distinguished guests, teachers, and student delegates. It is indeed our honor and pleasure to host SSMUN 2021. We are pleased to welcome tomorrow's leaders today at the 6th Sri Sri Academy Kolkata Model United Nations. Seeing you all here is a timely reminder that the Model United Nation exists to serve succeeding generations with dialogue, diplomacy, and integrity. MAN, being built on the principles of academic stimulations of open minds and fresh ideas, with its delegates representing national and international agendas, embodies the essence of the aforementioned qualities. Current world issues are daunting. However, the United Nations has proven at various stages of its history that it is capable of rising to new challenges. Therefore, for the same to happen in this conference, your active participation is crucial. Dear student delegates, your acceptance of differing viewpoints can clearly distinguish your respective committees and hence make this conference a success. You can be catalysts for change, and as the leaders of the future, you can also come up with innovative approaches to help confront the challenges faced by the global community. This is what the Secretariat expects and what we are looking forward to observe in each one of you. We genuinely believe that the sixth edition of SSMUN, which is an online conference, will leave you with enriched perspectives, greater understanding, new false friendship, and above all, exciting memories which shall remain unforgettable. I would now request our principal, Mrs. Shavina Shunglu, to address the conference and introduce our Honorable Chief Guest.
Good morning. A warm welcome to the 6th edition of the SSMUN 2021. We are honored to have with us the Consul General of the Federal Republic of Germany in Kolkata, Mr. Manfred Auster, as our guest of honor for the opening ceremony of the event. Mr. Auster took his office in September 2021 amid the pandemic and looks forward to discovering the cultural and intellectual diversity of Kolkata, as mentioned in an interview to a newspaper. After graduating from high school, he studied law, which he completed in 1986. For the last 4 years, he served as ambassador of Germany to Haiti. He has served across Europe, in Australia, and in North America in different roles as a diplomat. Previous to that, a very warm welcome, Mr. Auster. You will be glad to know that Sri Sri Academy shares a very special connection with Germany. We have had our first offline student exchange program with Goethe Gymnasium, Düsseldorf in 2018, and then we received the group of students in 2019 as part of our endeavor to provide a holistic approach to education and to develop bonds beyond geographical boundaries. We are always keen to reach out globally to make learning meaningful and to expand our familiar world by building bridges of friendship with colleagues and students in far-off places. Under the International School Awards, we felicitated this exchange program, which we are hoping will get revived after the pandemic is over. The Sri Sri Model United Nations is also an endeavor to help our students face the challenges of the present time, explore solutions, and see if they could find some innovative way out of the problems facing the world today. Owing to the current pandemic, this year too, the MUN conference is on a virtual platform. Our effort is always to make our students into thinking, caring, compassionate world citizens. So welcome once again, Mr. Auster, and wish the entire delegation and all the students watching this program a very enriching session for the remaining 3 days of the conference. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Jonglu, distinguished Secretary General and officials of SSMUN. I'm very, very honored to be with you and to greet you on the occasion of this opening ceremony. As you have heard, I served in Haiti before, and Haiti is not only the place where this background picture comes from, which I've chosen because it also is mostly in the colors of the United Nations in that light blue, which I wanted to have as a kind of photo background for you today. But it is also a place where one of the peacekeeping operations of recent years has taken place, first as MINUSTA, then it was called MINUJUST, and currently it is downgraded to a political mission in Haiti with a mandate from the Security Council. It, in both ways, good and bad, is an example of how the United Nations and multilateralism works. It's good because it has shown that it can bring stability to a country that was in turmoil in 2004 when the mission was launched. But it also showed that after a little bit less than 20 years, members in the Security Council were a little bit, got a fatigue about Haiti and decided, in hindsight, probably a little bit prematurely, to withdraw the robust mandate from that mission. And you might have seen over recent months that the turmoil in Haiti culminated in the assassination of the elected president, something that is certainly very deplorable. I'm saying that as an introduction to myself, but also to the United Nations that you're about to well, playing is not the right word, because I know how serious you're taking it and how much effort you're putting into it, but how the United Nations that you're modeling in the days to come. It is I think, a very, very fruitful and useful endeavor, in as much as I personally also participated in one of these model systems. In my case, it was not the United Nations, it was the European Union. And I must say that it gave me quite a little bit of impetus also to follow the career path that I have chosen afterwards, which I've never regretted. So I hope that when you're doing your deliberations, not only is it going to be interesting and a learning experience and fun, but that it also widens your perspective for possible options, how to serve not only your country, but to serve the world globally. A little bit about Germany and the United Nations might be appropriate at this stage. Germany joined the United Nations organization in 47 years ago. That is remarkably later than founding of the United Nations. And that had to do with our partition. Germany, as you know, was divided, and it took about 30 years to come to a point where, still in the situation with two German states, we had the opportunity and the possibility to join that very important global organization. And Germany, in both capacities first, and then since 1990 in the united capacity of Germany, has been a very adamant supporter of the system of the United Nations. We have on several occasions been a non-permanent member of the Security Council. The last period ended just at the end of 2020, so a few months ago. And Germany is one of the largest contributors to the budget of the United Nations as well. So to the general budget and the peace budget, we contribute as a fourth member. Only the only other countries paying more into it are the United Nations, Japan, and those two. But then we are also the second largest funder of the UN system overall, when you count into it the peacekeeping operations and also the contributions that go to the assessed contributions that go into the specialized agencies, but also into the criminal tribunals that the United Nations has set up. That all to say that we believe very much into multilateralism, and the United Nations on the global level is probably the best and only one institution that can contribute to world peace, but also to development. You are aware of the Sustainable Development Goals that the United Nations General Assembly has adopted a few years back, and that we are all committed to implement at this stage. And therefore, during the last few years or so, we have seen that system of working together for the benefit of all was questioned by several larger players on the global stage. We have overcome that, but during those years, Germany was one of the promoters of the Alliance for Multilateralism, and together with the European Union, most of our member states there, but also countries like Canada, we have pushed forward to keep this system going. And that is something that is very important for any German government. We have just recently elected a new parliament. Negotiations are ongoing for whom is going to succeed Angela Merkel as a chancellor. But so much is clear that this emphasis on multilateralism and the UN system is going to continue. Last point, perhaps, because we're in India, we count on India as one of the 4 members in the group of 4, together with Japan, Brazil, and India and Germany. So those are the 4. We are the ones pushing for a reform of the United Nations system, a reform that should then reflect more the realities of the 21st century, which basically means that the Global South needs more representation, also on the UN Security Council, but also countries like Japan and Germany, who have been only on the side there, to be involved on a permanent basis in that organization. or in that forum of the UN system. Again, India, Germany, and Japan and Brazil are working very closely on that and trying to push for these reforms, something that takes a long breath. It's not something that comes overnight. It's also something that sees quite a bit of resistance from other players and other partners in the system. Nevertheless, it is worth to have this long-term goal to make the UN even more capable and fit for the 21st century. With that, I think I leave you to your deliberations. Thank you very much once again for inviting me. I wish you all success in the upcoming SSMUN. And when you said that you had just started an exchange program that is now for the Sri Sri Academy with Germany, I'm very happy to know about that. And once the travel restrictions have been lifted, I'm sure that we will help in getting that back on track and continuing an exchange, because I think meeting eye to eye, person to person is the best that we can do also in the long run for the future of the planet, because that means we do understand each other better and we can work together for this planet. And unfortunately, we don't have another one to go for. With that, thank you very much indeed. All the best and namaskar.
Thank you, Honorable Sir and respected ma'am, for your words of encouragement. Now, we shall be moving on to the lighting of the lamp. I would now like to call upon the Secretary General of 6th edition of SSMUN, Shlok Mansinka, to give his welcome address, introduce the participating schools and chairs of the various committees, and at last to declare the conference open.
Thank you, Disha. Warm greetings to each and every one of you. It is indeed my honor and my privilege to welcome you all to this 6th edition of SSMUN. Over the past few years, SSMUN has catered to a diverse group of delegates who are enthusiastic about mastering the art of handling international relations and diplomacy. Every year, the Secretariat aims at elevating the experience gained by the delegates, and here at our 6th edition, we hope that our endeavors set the bar even higher. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the schools that have accepted our invitation for the 6th edition of SSMUN. In doing so, they have become a part of the SSMUN family. It now gives me great pleasure to announce the participating schools. Calcutta International School, Don Bosco School Bandel, Don Bosco School Lilwa, Don Bosco School Park Circus, Delhi Public School Mega City, Garden High School, La Martiniere for Boys, Lakshmipat Singhania Academy, MC Kejriwal Vidyapeeth, Mahadevi Birla World Academy, Sacred Heart School Siliguri, South City International School, St. James's School, Stepping Stone School Aurangabad, Strawberry Fields High School Chandigarh, the BSS School, the Cathedral and John Cannon School Mumbai, the Future Foundation School, and the Heritage School. SSMUN is an ongoing legacy since the success of its very first edition. It has always aimed to inspire the first timers and has been a source of motivation for experienced delegates to improve and showcase growth. Without further ado, I will now announce the various committees and their respective chairs. The first committee that we have for SSMUN 2021 is the Special Political and Decolonization Committee, which will be chaired by Aman Sinha. Next, we have the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, which will be co-chaired by Sabdashwa Chakraborty and Sehaj Pundir. Now moving on to the third committee, we have the Joint Crisis Committees. The Maoist Cabinet will be chaired by Aditya Joshi, while the Soviet Cabinet will be co-chaired by Vishesh Mehra and myself. The last committee for SSMUN 2021 is the All India Political Parties Meet, chaired by Sapnil Biswas. With the distinct challenge to remain separated physically, yet attached to the important goal of hosting a conference worth your remembrance, we feel united. On that note, with all the powers vested in me, I, Shlok Mansingha, the Secretary General of Sri Sri Model United Nations 2021, declare the conference open.
Thank you, Shlok. And with that, may I now request all the delegates to join their respective committees at the given time. To all the non-delegates who have joined us today, we hope to see you at the closing ceremony, which shall be streamed live on our YouTube channel on 9th October at 4 p.m. Thank you.